Well, hello everybody, or I should say hello, my fellow brother and sister Cancerians. Welcome to the Your Natural Healer channel. My name is Tammy, and I'm so happy to have you here for the September Zodiac reading for the sun sign Cancer. I too am a Cancer, so this one is near and dear to my heart. And what we are going to look at for this month is we're going to have a little life check-in pretty much. We're going to look at where your energy is for career. We're going to look at your finances. We're going to look at love. We're going to look at health and spirituality. We're going to pull that from I'm going to pull that from basically a Rider-Waite tarot. It's not Rider-Waite tarot. It's different, but it's exactly the same. It's just the artistry is different. Then we're going to pull one card from it's called where's the little thing at? The Deep, Dark, and Dangerous Oracle card. And we're going to look at some negative energy that you need to be aware of, whether it's yourself or somebody else. And then normally for those that watch, I pull a crystal that I'm drawn to for whatever zodiac sign that I'm channeling. But this time I was really drawn to, these are crystal cards. So we're going to pull a crystal card and see what we come up with today. All right. As I said, this is for anybody with the sun sign of Cancer. But before I get started, I just want to real quick housekeeping. I'm not going to go over all the specials and things like that that's happening at Your Natural Healer. You can check down in the description for links to my website, which goes over everything that's happening for Your Natural Healer. The only thing I'm going to ask of you is if you would consider subscribing to the channel, because the YouTube formula is real and it is based off of number of subscribers. And to get authentic subscribers is really difficult. I guess there's people out there that pay for bot subscribers. And it's like, okay, first of all, I want to do this the right way with my channel. And then secondly, I want to cheat, because that's putting bad energy out there. And we all know that whatever you put out, good or bad, comes back to you times 3. So I don't need that. So if you would consider subscribing, please do so. Thank you in advance. Real quick though, you can turn off the notifications. That will not offend me. You know, after getting into this and seeing how much is actually involved with the YouTube channel, and, I'm not getting paid for it. This is all free. I do it all on my own time. It makes me really appreciate YouTube channels. So, I never used to thumbs up, and that's another thing. Give a thumbs up if you like somebody's video. It does help. Another YouTube formula. The number of thumbs up puts you, there's a list of how they put your videos out there on YouTube for, people that might be interested in your content. And that one is based off of number of likes. So if you get anything out of my video, this one or any other ones, always please give it a thumbs up. Really appreciate that support. And I just want to say really quickly as well, and then we'll get into this, is please remember, and it's not just my channel, this is for anybody's YouTube channel. If you don't like the content, if you disagree with it, if you don't like the person, you don't like the way they look or the way they sound or whatever the reason is, don't leave nasty comments. Don't give them a thumbs down, because it really does mess with their algorithm. And just because you don't like somebody or their channel or content doesn't mean that there's others who don't like it. So don't spoil that for everybody else. And as I said, there is so much work that goes into this, and don't put that kind of energy out into the world. And plus, we're Cancers. We're better than that. I'm going to take a quick sip of my water. I'm all out of moon water, so I'm going to pause it. I don't want you to hear me guzzling water. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay. Whew, I was parched. All right. So I clean the cards in between readings. I do use Sage and Reiki. But I'm going to go ahead and do another cleansing with some sound, because... just because you can never have too much protection. I'm getting one more. Okay. I love my tincture bells. They're one of the best tools, I have for quick and easy cleaning. All right, Cancer. So I'm going to go ahead and start shuffling. I'm going to move these other two decks off to the side just to get them out of my way because I need this extra room. And this desk is wonderful, but it's not very wide. All right, and I could move my crystals, but I think that makes a nice ambiance, and I love my crystals. So crystal balls there. If I see anything in it, if anything pops up during the reading, I will actually... I see, I see like an old woman in it. And she's kind of smirking, and she reminds me kind of like Mother Teresa, but it's not Mother Teresa. But you know how Mother Teresa wears that headgear, and I'm sorry, I'm not privy to that. But like from the middle of her forehead, there's a band that goes around it, and it's like she's wearing some kind of black cover. So I can't see the hair. But I could see the nose and I could see the eyes, and it's definitely an older woman. She's smirking. I would say the face isn't round, but it's not like pointed at the chin, but I guess it's not oval, but it's kind of more heart shaped, but it's oval on the bottom. So it's not a pointy chin. But she's smirking, and I don't know if it's relating to me or to someone out there. Like I said, she's just in my ball. She's just kind of looking on. I'm getting the feeling, though, I'm getting grandmotherly vibe. And I never met my grandparents, but I've seen pictures of them, and it's definitely not pictures of my grandmother. So I think this is somebody out there. If somebody recently lost their grandmother, she is with you, and she's watching on, and she's looking over you. And actually, hold on one second. I have these set of cards. I don't use them really often. I think I've done one reading with them, and I may do one a year with these ones. These are cards. They're oracle messages. They're called heaven cards, and I think she wants me to pull one. So again, if somebody recently lost a grandmother, or your grandmother's been passed on for a while and you were very close to her, because I do think it's somebody that had a grandmother very close to them, they want me to pull you a card. And she is definitely with you and definitely watching over you all the time, making sure you're okay. Just a very elderly looking. I would say probably like maybe late 70s to late 80s. But that's really, she's just there. All right. I'm going to just spread these out, and I'm going to look at my crystal ball and then just pick a card. Okay. This one right here. All right. So if you're somebody that recently lost their grandmother, or if you were very, very, very close, like if your grandmother practically raised you, she may have passed on 10 years ago. But it's going to be somebody who definitely was close to a grandmother that passed on. Here's your message. And for those of you that doesn't relate to, I apologize. It says, if I had only known then what I know now, I would have lived differently. All right, so that is the message she's wanting to say. If I had only known then what I know now, I would have lived differently. Don't know what that means. I hope it's something good. If it resonates with you, if it does resonate with you, do what I always say. Take your right hand, place it on your heart, take a deep breath in, and say, yes, I claim that message for myself. And She's still in the crystal ball, the face, but it's lighter. It's like the features are dissipating. So I'll keep an eye on it. Grandma, whoever this is, they're in good hands here. I'm not going to steer them wrong. All right. Sorry about that. Sometimes with that crystal ball, when it sits there, something pops up and I have to read it. All right. So where were we at? Okay. So we talked about what we're going to do. This is a life check-in. We're going to talk about 5 main attributes in your life. Now, I want you to remember, my fellow Cancerians, that this reading is for every Cancer in the whole world. So if every Cancer watched in the whole world, it's not going to resonate with everybody. And you know what? That happens, and that's okay. So don't sit there and go, oh, Tammy's fake, or give me a thumbs down, or leave me a nasty comment. Come back to this. I'm not going to be doing this reading again for 4 months because I'm doing 4 different types of readings a year. I'm doing the Zodiac reading. We did the Spirit Guide. I forget the other one we did. Oh, your Karmic and Akashic Record reading, and then we're going to do a life check-in. So those are 4 readings that are going to get done 3 times a year. Okay, so if this doesn't resonate with you, check back. You have September, October, November, December. So I won't be doing this reading again until January. Okay? So it might not resonate with you till December. It might not resonate with you at all. 2 options. Again, you can come back and rewatch or go to yournaturalhealer.com, and sign up for a personal reading. You can always email me to Tammy@yournaturalhealer.com and say, hey, Tammy, I'd like to get a personal reading, and then, we'll talk details and go from there. And you don't always have to sign up online. I can also send invoices via PayPal. You don't have to have PayPal to pay via PayPal with the invoices. All right, so that's that. Now, if this does resonate, just like I said with the crystal ball, Grandma's still there, but she's faint. I want you to take your right hand, place it on your heart if something in this reading resonates with you, and say, yes, I claim it for myself. Okay? All right, so I'm going to and I'm sorry if I hit the camera. I like my new tripod, but there's a stick on it about that big that allows me to, go up and down. And the stick, when I bend forward, just always stabs me in the chest. So sorry if I hit that. I'm just going to pull these cards, set the deck off to the side, and then I'm going to get these nice and prettied for us so we can see what we're doing here. Okay. All right. And I know this doesn't look centered. And I'm going to tilt that down. All right. Sorry about that. And another thing for you guys that are new, my videos are not scripted. They're not edited. Do you believe that there are actual readers out there that'll sit there before a reading and they'll go through the cards and go, I can't read what these are. They'll go, what's a good card? Oh, the Star is good. The Knight of Cups is good. And they'll go and they'll pre-pull all these cards to put together a story. And it's like, that's not authentic. That's not real. You're making up stories. My video is not story time. This is real. And I call it as I see it. I hate to read negative cards. I really do. But if we pull a negative card and tarot has negative cards, I'm going to read it. Now, granted, I'm not going to tell you here that you're going to get hit by a bread truck the second Tuesday of next week. I would never do something like that. But if I get a card that says, hey, you need to just keep your eyes open, you might be prone to accidents or something, sure. All right. And if I have to pause to get up to turn on the light, it's getting a little dark here, and I hope it pours rain. We've been over 110 here in Texas for at least 6 weeks. Sorry, I needed some water again. Okay, so I'm hoping it storms. So if it gets too dark in here, I am going to pause and turn on the light. I don't want to pause the camera, though, because I don't know how long I have to pause before the video stops, and I don't want to restart it and I don't want to edit it because then it looks like I'm hiding stuff or I'm cutting things out. And like I said, I would rather you hear me sip water and get an authentic reading than this be perfect and fill you with a bunch of fluff and rainbows and butterflies and unicorns. Okay, let's go ahead and start. So we're going to start, Cancer, with career. And we're going to talk about what space your career is heading into. All right. And you got the Four of Cups. Kind of appropriate, though, because really quickly, Four of Cups, most tarot cards represent, they all represent a chakra, usually, and an element. And then sometimes a planet, sometimes a zodiac, or it can be a planet and a zodiac. Now, this one represents our throat chakra. It is the element of water, which we're water signs. It represents moon energy. We're lunar babies. And then it does represent the energy from the zodiac sign of Cancer. So kind of cool. We got all this. What I'm getting, though, in your current job or career, you are so bored with it. I think that either you got into a job, you're either really overqualified for the current job you had, or maybe you decided to take a step away from whatever your training was in, take something a little more mindless, so maybe you wouldn't be quite so stressed out, but you really are bored. Okay. And it does play into this throat chakra because our throat chakra is all about being our authentic self. And whatever it is that you're doing right now, and you may like it, it may be easy, but you are bored. Being a Cancer, you do strive for perfection. You do like to be challenged. You do like to be the center of attention. So you do, even if it was, even if you're not like college educated, let's say you're a cashier, which there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. One of my most favorite jobs I ever had, it was why I was going to college, because I went to college as an adult in my my mid to late 20s. It was after I got out of the Navy. Was I was a cashier at PetSmart. Loved it because I loved interacting with people. I loved interacting with the animals. I really enjoyed it. So please don't think that I'm cashier bashing or anything. Now, one of the things is, though, if you're like me, you want to be the number one cashier, the best, because it's just the energy that we have in us. So just be really mindful if you're getting bored, because if you're getting bored, you might start kind of slacking off a little bit. Maybe you're not trying so much. Maybe you're starting to come into work a little late. And I want you to know grandma is almost, I would say 90% gone. I could still make out like her nose and that black band around the top of her head. But anyway, that could end up to you getting fired, because you're bored. You're not being true to yourself. So obviously it's going to take effect on your work, but within you, you're not going to have that satisfaction, that passion, and even if it's not your passion, as I said, you're Cancerian, every job you have, you take to heart, like if it was your own business. And just be careful with getting bored. If that is the case, then maybe you can ask for more responsibility or ask for a promotion, or maybe it's just time to say, okay, I need to, find something that is a little more challenging, or something that, I'm going to feel like I am part of something, because that's it too. We love being part of something. Okay. We have that nurturing thing in us, and being part of something makes us whole, so just be really careful of that, and you'll be okay. All right, let's check in now on our money situation and see what we got going on here. And for this card, Cancer, you got the Fool. Okay. The Fool, that card, let me tell you about the energies that it portrays. Crown chakra energy, the element of air, it draws on Uranus energy and Aquarius energy, okay? So as far as money wise, and that might play into this a little bit, this is basically saying take a chance. It's a time for a new beginning, new opportunities. And the thing with Fool energy is, in regular tarot, you see the little guy, he's standing at the edge of the cliff with his knapsack, and he's one more step and he's going to go off the edge. And he's happy as a clam. And that's really representative of energy of, like think about things in our life, like when you first start school or you start high school. You're excited, you're not thinking about really what lies ahead, what challenges you may face, what opportunities may exist. You're just excited to be moving into a new phase. And that is the same thing with your money. You could take a chance on whether it's an investment or something like that, but you need to work hard. That's not saying just go to the casino and, I'm going to take a chance. No, this also requires you've got to do your part a little bit. You have to work hard. This is not just a thing like playing the lottery and winning $1 million. So there's some new beginnings available, new opportunities, new doors opening up for you as far as your finances. These are going to be, for the most part, positive changes. Remember, though, that when we enter into new spaces and have new opportunities, that with the good comes the bad, because we do have duality of life. So as you embark on this new financial journey, just go in understanding that it's not going to be perfect, that you're going to have challenges, you're going to have, positive things happen. And I think it's a really good time. You're going to see some really great doors opening up for you financially. So that's a really good card. And that could play into this being bored thing. Maybe if you did take a job that you are overqualified for, something like that, maybe you're deciding, okay, it's time to go back into something more challenging, which usually more challenging means more responsibility, which many times means more money. So I don't know if that's what it means or not. Again, this is a general reading. Normally I would draw supporting cards to see what we got going on with that. All right, let's look at now love, which everybody wants to know about love. And my fellow lunar babies, we got King of Wands. Well, I should say you got, this reading is not for me. I don't need to channel my own energy. I just channel Cancer energy, which I already have. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. All right, the King of Wands. So the energy this card brings on is the third eye. It's fire energy, which we can kind of see from the crown here. And wands are always fire energy. Scorpio, which is another water sign, and then Sagittarius. So this one doesn't really hit any planets, but it does hit 2 zodiac signs. Now, if you're in a relationship, and I'm going to split this between those of us who are in relationships and those of us who are single. If you're in a relationship, somebody in the relationship, I don't know if it's you or your partner, but they're a little on the clingy side, a little bit needy. And obviously, whoever is the needy one, the other one is not like that. They need a little more freedom and a little more independence. So be really vigilant. If you're the one that's being clingy and needy, you might want to take a step back with that. Meditate with it. And if there's a reason why you're being so clingy, then maybe you need to take the time to explore. And just really quickly, Grandma is gone. Take the time to explore, why are you being this way? If you're sitting there sneaking around looking at your significant other's cell phone while they're sleeping, that's a problem. Why are you so insecure? Okay, so I think that maybe you need to do some self-reflection. When you do so, I would use some either rose quartz or pink tourmaline, which is going to bring some self-love, self-compassion, and allow you to go easy on yourself as you're looking and exploring these issues. Now, if it's the other person that is being clingy, then they might not even realize it. Again, you need to be gentle with them. So again, using pink stones so that way you can empathize with whatever they're going through. You need to show them some reassurance. And if they're in your bubble, then you need to say to them, hey, I need a little space. They may or may not get upset, but do it tactfully. Nobody ever wants to hear, well, I don't want to spend time with you. That's not the optimal way to do it because we all need space. Okay. So just be aware of that. I'm getting the feeling, though, because I know Cancers, that it's most likely you that's being the really clingy person, the really needy person. So if you really want a good guided meditation to do, go to my playlist called Guided Meditations. Do the pink energy guided meditation. That's really going to help pull in that self-love, self-compassion, the empathy, and that might help you loosen up the reins a little bit, okay? If you're single, if you are a single Cancerian, oh my goodness. You need to free up a little space because you've been too busy and you keep making excuses of why you're not dating or why you're not getting yourself out there. Nobody's too busy. You need to reprioritize your things, but you need to make some space for love because, the more you keep pushing it off and coming up with these excuses, you're going to miss some wonderful opportunities. I mean, yeah, you're going to dodge some losers too, obviously. But, that's part of the dating scene. And I'm so thankful that I'm not part of this dating scene nowadays with online dating and all that. But open yourself up. And if you're making excuses because you've been hurt or things like that, then that's something you need to do a little work on and explore that. Okay. Again, you may too benefit from using some rose quartz pink tourmaline. If you don't have it and you do want to work with crystals, I do have both of those in the Your Natural Healer store at the time of this video. I do have I have Weatherford Trade Days coming up next week. Well, at the time of this recording in 5 days, and that's a 3-day event. And then the following Saturday after that, I have the Azel Sing Fling festival. So, if you watch after that, I might be out. I don't know what I'm going to sell. It's going to a lot depend on the weather, but, just go to the website. If it's not available, it won't show it or it'll say it's out of stock. But anyway, I do think you would also benefit from that pink energy guided meditation. All right. And if either of you, whether you're single or in a relationship, if you need Reiki, again, my prices are inexpensive for my sessions. You probably spend more than that eating lunch out at work. So, if you negated 1 day a week from eating lunch out, you could have yourself one distance Reiki session every month to balance and smooth out your energy. All right. Sip of water, lots of talking here. It's still getting cloudy, so, it's going to be so nice if I don't have to water my garden. And I think I hit the camera. I apologize. All right, let's look at attribute number 4, which we're going to talk about health. Now, really quickly, please remember that holistic healing in any form, tarot, crystals, essential oils, sage, it's not supposed to replace medical treatment. It's supposed to work in conjunction with it, okay? So remember, if you're sick, you're ill, you're hurt, either call your doctor or call 911. Okay, so there's my disclaimer. And Parker's on the move if you can't hear her tiptoeing around. All right, so let's talk about health and see what our space is about to look like. And we got the Nine of Wands, but in reverse. Okay, well, I pretty much just said, let me talk to you about the energy of this card. This is sacral energy, and we just pulled one. So you got 2 wand cards in a row, which again is fire energy. It's also moon energy. So we had got moon energy earlier, and it's Sagittarius energy. My husband's a Sagittarius, and everybody's always like Scorpio. I don't know. Sagittarius. My mother was Scorpio, and she was very mild compared to Sagittarius. Love my husband, but that Sagittarian, when it comes out, it almost reminds me of Taurus energy where they're stubborn. Anyway, sorry, I digress. I think that you might have some chronic illness going on, or that you're going to see the return of an old illness or an old injury start to resurface again. You're acting like nothing's wrong, which, again, that is the Cancer way. However, stop fooling yourself. Stop saying, oh, I'm fine. Because, holistic stuff out of the way. If you and I were friends and we were sitting down talking and you were telling me about some injury that's coming back or a chronic illness you've got going on, I would tell you should go see your doctor. And that's what I'm going to tell you here. I think it's time you make a doctor's appointment, because if this is chronic and it's been going on and on and on and on, you're obviously not getting any better. Secondly, if it's something, an old injury and it's coming back, then again, you need to see your doctor. Now, that doesn't mean you can't also utilize crystals. I'd be more than happy to do some distance Reiki, on you to help you with the physical healing as well. But again, stop pretending like everything is all right, because it's not. And if you nip it in the bud now, it's not going to progress into something worse. Okay. So call your doctor, make that appointment. Also call your Reiki practitioner and make a distance Reiki appointment. I always have to plug it. Sorry, guys. All right. So we are going to pull next, talk about where you are spiritually. Now, again, please remember that being spiritual doesn't necessarily mean you're religious, and vice versa. Okay, so let's see where you are. More wands. Okay. Fire energy is really great energy. So we've gotten 3 wands in a row. So I'd be kind of curious to see how many fire signs you have in your birth chart. But fire can be good and it can be destructive. You think about fire. Fire can warm us. It can cook our food, but then fire can also burn us. It can destroy us. It can hurt us. So just be careful with all this wand energy that you've been getting. All right. And this also deals with our solar plexus, Mercury energy, and again, Sagittarius energy. So you just got 2 Sagittarius energies. Again, I would be interested to see where Sagittarius lies in your birth chart. Look at what house maybe. If you've never done your birth chart, I do offer birth chart analysis. I always say minimum a 30-page report, but I think it's 40, but I'm just going to say 30 on the safe side. And it's in very layman terms. It is an actual software that astrologers use. It's not this garbage that's online, the free Zodiac reading. Okay. But anyway, I would check your birth chart to see where Sagittarius lies. But spiritually, this is a really great card because as Cancer energy, we are very intuitive people. We are one, if not the most intuitive, highly psychic signs in the zodiac. So your abilities, we all have abilities. When we're born with abilities. And as we age and we get schooled by our parents and our churches and our actual schools and friends and television and things of that nature, those abilities dissipate. Some are lucky enough that they keep it. And it doesn't get tainted, but we can always redevelop and our energies. Okay, so if you're not doing any type of intuitive practice or psychic practices, and you're interested in doing so, then I would go ahead and start working on that. Or if your third eye is not open, start working on your third eye. If you'd like me to do a third eye guided meditation video, that's one. I think the last video I did was throat, and then it was right before summer started, and then summer just really got away from me personally because I have on 1/3 of an acre of my property, because I have a big piece of property, 1/3 of an acre is devoted to vegetable gardening. So that takes up like all my time between I work full time, I have this business running, making YouTube videos, selling crystals, doing sessions, doing personal readings and personal birth chart analysis and, weekend events, just very, very busy here. Anyway, my point being, if you're interested in a third eye video, I'm about ready to start working on the next guided meditation. So, leave me a comment that says something like, yes, I'd like the third eye video. But basically your psychic abilities are really picking up right now. Also, if you find that your intuition is kicking into overdrive, like you're making decisions and things are telling you, no, that's not right. Or yeah, you should get that. Your head's saying no, but your gut is saying yes. Pay attention to your intuition, okay? Because things are really, really on the up and up in this upcoming space, okay? So really great card. All right, so the next card deck we're going to use is that Deep, Dark, and Dangerous. And it's not a bad deck. They try to make them sound scary. I have a couple decks that I call shadow work decks. So that's kind of more what this is. You can only hear so much fluff. Well, it's not necessarily fluff, but, life's a duality. And look, everybody, I'm shuffling the right way. I've been practicing. Oops, there we go. Okay, see, I need to be careful, especially with them live flames. See, I should have never said nothing. For those of you who don't watch my channel, I am the worst card shuffler. When my husband, if he watches my videos on YouTube, he always laughs at me, and he's always like, how can you do that, not shuffle cards? It's like, my people understand. They're not here to watch me shuffle cards. They're here to get their reading. Sorry, and I'm hitting that tripod. So we're going to take that top card. Okay, so let's see what we got to look forward to or be aware of. And this says Kraken. Mystery. Ooh, the Kraken. Beware the Kraken. Mystery. Okay. I'm trying to decide this, what I'm getting in my head, if it's you or if it's somebody else. And I'm getting that it's you. So be careful of this energy that you're about to fall into. And it's kind of not necessarily know-it-all, but you want to know everything. Some things in life are good to be a mystery. It's like, there's a story I remember from Sunday school about, when Jesus is tempted, and I don't remember how many times he was tempted, 3 or 4 times. Again, I don't know. I'm not a Bible scholar. I just remember the story, like I said, from Sunday school from when I was a kid. And it always stuck with me. My Sunday school teacher, and I don't remember her name, but she obviously did a good job, if I'm remembering this, 40 years later. But she was saying that, when the devil said, well, if you're the son of God, then, you could do whatever miracle. And, I think with the fasting for 40 days, you could give yourself bread. And Jesus basically was like, nope, not doing it. And she explained that the reason was because if he just went and did that to prove to the devil that, he could, it takes the faith out of things, because within mystery comes faith, and faith is important, and I'm not necessarily talking about religion or all with this. Just sometimes we're better off not knowing everything. Sometimes we need to just take people at their word. Sometimes we just need to believe things for the sake of believing things. Like, for example, having spirit guides and angels and galactic guides and light beings and elementals and things like that. I had somebody say, oh, stuff's fake. And I want to say, can you prove it's fake? Because they're like, well, you can't prove it's real. Well, can you prove it's fake? No. So, I don't need to see a fairy to know that there's fairies that exist. They might not exist in this realm or this dimension, but I know that they exist and they can come into this dimension. So just be careful with this. Again, I don't want to call it know-it-all, but wanting to know it all attitude. It can spoil some things for you. And sometimes not knowing everything and having that hope. It's almost like with Santa Claus. Think when we're kids with Santa Claus, and how you felt going to bed Christmas Eve and the excitement, and then waking up, running down the stairs Christmas morning. And then once you found out about Santa Claus, it wasn't quite as exciting because you didn't have that mystery. So again, I'm just saying, just be really careful coming up into your space about wanting to know everything. Some things are better off left not being known, and just having faith. And maybe that's something that the universe is saying that you need to work on, is having faith in yourself, having faith in others, having faith in the universe. Okay? Faith can be different for all of us. All right, let's go ahead and pull a card for the crystals, and then we'll be finished. This one a little longer, but when I talk to you Cancerians, can't help it. We're siblings. We're Zodiac siblings. All right, so we're going to see which crystal card we got today. And we'll just throw that one down there because I'm out of space. Well, I could tilt this down, but I don't want to. All right, so the card you got, black tourmaline. I don't have any black tourmaline. Most people know what black tourmaline looks like. Hold on, I'm going to go grab a piece. I don't know if I have any small pieces. I don't see any. No, all my black tourmaline. Today I saged my crystals. I don't do them all, but I always do my black tourmaline. But you probably know what black tourmaline looks like. Anyway, black tourmaline, it's all about protection. That makes a lot of sense, especially since we said our spiritual card, which is the Eight of Wands, that our psychic abilities, we're going to start amping up a little bit. If you do any kind of spiritual work, meditation, divination, working with crystals, whatever it is, you always need to protect yourself. That doesn't mean you always have to have black tourmaline on you. I usually do, when I do Reiki for my clients, even my distance Reiki sessions, I wear black tourmaline just because I don't want to pick up anybody's energy. I do keep black tourmaline with me at work. But black tourmaline will also, it acts as a shield around your aura. So I like it, like, for example, at work, because it prevents any drama from coming into my life. It won't come into my my shield, my aura, excuse me. It acts as a shield around your aura is what I'm saying. So you might want to work on or carry some black tourmaline. I do have it in your natural healer store. I don't have much left. I have couple big chunks, which are nice statement pieces for a room. I do have a big hunk. It's probably, well, it's not a sphere, but it's probably it's not as big as my celestite, and it's bigger than my stibnite. It's probably about 3 times the size of the stibnite. That I have in a room, that it just protects the room. I grid my house with black tourmaline. Really quickly about gridding, because I had somebody leave me a message about gridding. Gridding a house is not the same thing as using a crystal grid. They said something to me like, well, there's a lot more to gridding than putting crystals in the corner. I think that they're thinking about the actual grids with sacred geometry. When you grid your house with crystals, of course, the basic thing you want to do with that is you want to make sure your crystals are cleansed and you set the intention. That's really all there is to it. So I think that they were getting a little mixed up with that. I am not talking about crystal gridding with grid boards. I am talking about, it's also called gridding, where you put a crystal in the 4 corners of your house or the 4 corners of a room or whatever, and it creates like a grid in your room, sending energy everywhere. That's why I like spheres as well, because spheres emit energy in all directions equally. So that's why I have a lot of crystal spheres. But anyway, my point being is, and this makes a lot of sense with what we said, we had it couple cards with the moon and talking about, your psychic abilities starting to ramp up. So you might want to start working with, or at least keeping some black tourmaline in your space over the course of the next few months. Okay? Well, my fellow Cancerians, that's all I have for you. So thank you so much for joining me. Links will be below in the description for not only my store, Your Natural Healer, but also lotuscenter.online. That I have free meditations, which they're also on YouTube, but I do offer paid courses. I teach a course on all about auras. I have an Introduction to Crystals course, which is like 6 hours, and learn everything you need to know about basic crystals. If you want to learn how to become a certified master chakra healer, or you just want to learn about a certain chakra, I have 9 courses that you would need to take to become a certified master chakra healer. But if you're just interested, say, in the third eye, you can just sign up for that course. So you can check that out. That's lotuscenter.online. But that's all I have for you today. So I hope to see you at one of the Monday readings. Check me out on Facebook as well. And that's all I got. So go live your best life, my fellow Cancerians, but make sure you do it the natural way. Namaste.